This police shooting by Officer Michael Slager of Charleston, South Carolina, of the suspect Walter Scott. Now, it had already caused controversy over the weekend because the officer was claiming that it was justifiable in the context of self-defense. But then yesterday, a really damning video surfaced, and it really seems to show a different story. Now, I want to show folks I want to tell folks really quickly. I'll warn you, this video may be disturbing. We're going to get Larry's reaction to this. Watch. Larry, it doesn't look good, and the officer's been charged with murder. He was denied bail last night. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, 8 times in the back, this guy's running away. I mean, what?
Well, the number of times is not what's relevant. What's relevant is that he was unarmed, no longer posed a threat, and he was shot. It's a bad shooting, and this officer is in serious trouble. My suspicion is he's going to get nailed for manslaughter. Yeah. And it also shows you the utter value of cameras, body cams, dash cams. I am a huge supporter. It's going to vindicate the cops as often as it's going to vindicate an accusation made against the cop. But here, had it not been for a videotape, who knows what this cop would have said? Who knows whether or not the cop might have gotten away with this? And
Larry, shockingly enough, there are actually people on both sides, liberals and conservatives, libertarians and independents, who think that, well, we shouldn't be able to record the police, which I find shocking. That just floors me.
Out here in California, Dana, there's a town called Rialto, about 68,000 people, and the officers resisted the use of body cams, but they were installed anyway, and it turned out officer complaints fell dramatically, officer uses of force fell dramatically. It improved the conduct of both sides of the transaction.
Yeah, and with this video as well, Walter Scott, who is the victim in this, as you were saying, it doesn't, I mean, he was unarmed. A taser, even if he had a taser, that's not a deadly weapon. I don't see how that officer was in any way in fear of his life.
Well, that's right. You can shoot a fleeing felon, even an unarmed fleeing felon, if that felon poses a threat to you, to death or bodily injury, serious bodily injury. This does not appear to fit that fact pattern. This officer is in serious trouble. And should be.
Yeah, exactly. And there are, just as there are good cops, there are also bad cops as well. And I mean, we've seen some of this before. But this, what makes me even sadder about this, Larry, is not only do you have a complete loss of life that did not need to happen, but now that story that we saw in my hometown of St. Louis with Ferguson, everything else, that's all going to bubble back up. And I think we're going to see a push towards, this is all going to be about a push towards nationalizing local law enforcement.
Yeah, it's going to cause people to rethink all those other shootings, and that's unfortunate because this is very rare. It's rare for a police to ever shoot anybody. 95% of police officers never fire their firearm. 98% of those in small towns never fire their firearm in the line of duty. It is very rare. And of course, when something like this happens, the media is going to be all over it. So there's no reason to believe that this officer is going to skate. He's not going to skate. Right. But it would not have happened had it not been for the video cam, which again shows you the vital importance of getting body cams and dash cams for both purposes of cops and suspects.